dear, it's Heather, and you're watching Save Today with Heather J. I am somebody who has spent her entire adult life living paycheck to paycheck and being one life event away from financial crisis. It's time for that to change. It's time to create a better financial future than my financial past has been. It's time to work hard. And so that's what this is about for me. I created a budget so that I can know exactly where my money's going and exactly where I can take it back, have it, gain control again. I have some very large ticket item things I'd like to buy in the very near future. I've been wanting them for a very, very long time, and I have never been able to make it happen. And as much as I want to just wish it into being, I can't. So I have to work hard. And that work starts now, starts here. Started when I created this budget in this channel in May. And we're making great forward progress. And so today we're going to we're going to set up my paycheck number 1 budget. We're going to see what that looks like and see where we get for that. Let's just get into that. Let's not talk about it. Let's just do it. For me, my paycheck, so my budget months don't line up with the calendar months. I get paid every other week, and my rent is due on the 1st. Whichever pay period the 1st falls within, that's the beginning of my month. And so for me, October goes from the 22nd of September to the 19th of October. So paycheck number 1 that we're going to be going over and setting up the budget for is September 22nd to October 6th. We're going to look at what my income is, what my fixed expenses are, what my flexible spending is, and what my ending balance looks like. So in my income, I set up this estimate. I'm an hourly employee, not salaried, so I do my dollars per hour times the hours worked times the amount of weeks in the pay period, take out taxes and insurance. So $20.85 times 38 hours a week times 2 weeks in this pay period, take away 25%, and I have an estimated income of $1,188.45. I do give myself an other line. I don't have a second job. I don't get child support. I don't have any kind of investments where I would be receiving regularly monthly or quarterly payments on. This is here just in case something shows up, whether that is birthday money, Christmas money, taxes, or if I have loaned somebody money who is then paying me back. If I receive a rebate of some sort, I have a place to fit that in my budget and know where that came from and know where that's going. So right for this pay period, I do not have anything on that line. That's zero. So my total income is estimated to be $1,188.45. My fixed expenses for this pay period are fairly small, nice and easy. I have my rent, that's $853. Again, rent is $850. It's a $3 service fee to the provider that withdraws that for them. And then I have this line for other, in case something shows up, in case I've loaned somebody some money, in case a bill shows up unexpectedly, I have a place to put that. This is estimated at zero right now. That could change as the pay period carries through. So my total fixed expenses for this pay period is just the $853. Then we look at my flexible spending. For me, flexible spending is groceries, dining out, transportation, art, and miscellaneous. These are the areas I have the greatest control over. I can choose where I go, and those choices will impact how much I end up spending. This is the area I can get myself into the greatest damage if I don't pay enough attention. I can spend too much at the grocery store, I can spend too much on my art, and now suddenly I don't have enough money to pay my real bills. This is where I have to pay the most attention, or I can cause myself my greatest damage. In my groceries, I have estimated $125 a week for $250 this pay period. Dining out, I have given myself an estimate of $0. I've already gone a very significant amount of time without dining out. I don't know how much longer I can carry that through, but I did not have any extra funds in the budget to just give to that yet. So we'll see. Right now that's estimated at $0. Can I maintain that for this 2 weeks in this pay period? We'll find out. And then transportation, I have given myself an estimate of $50 for the pay period. Up to this point, I have given myself one full fill up a week as an estimate, and that has been too much. And so I'm just giving myself $50 for the pay period. We'll see how that carries out. Do I fill up every 10 days? In which case there would be less in one pay period and more in the next, or vice versa. Or what? I don't know. I'm readjusting, and I don't know how that's going to carry through. So $50 for this 2-week time frame, however that ends up being spent. My art, I have given myself $0 in this category for this pay period. The projects that I have picked for this month to be working on, I should have all of the things I need for them. And if I don't have what I need, I should be able to find something that will do in the supplies I have here. And then in miscellaneous for this pay period, I have nothing in the budget for miscellaneous in this pay period. I do have some stuff in the budget for this month, but that'll show up next pay period. So I have given myself a total of $300 in my flexible spending for this 2-week pay period. As we carry down my ending balance, it does look like I have an income estimate of $1,188.45 and a fixed expense estimate at $853 even, a flexible spending estimate of $300 even, which gives me an ending total of, it looks like I'm going to have $35.45 left as we finish out this pay period that I would then be able to carry over into the next. Real nice and easy, very small amount of spending. I don't have a whole lot left to spend after I get my rent paid, and thankfully I didn't have any other bills outside of rent that showed up in this pay period. I would really like to be able to do some of the miscellaneous spending I wanted to do, but it doesn't look like I have that in the budget for this pay period. That's it. Let's see how that goes as we carry through the next 2 weeks. See how well we did with that. That is it for my budgeting portion of today's video. And if that is all you're here for, thank you for stopping by, and I will talk to you next time. Those of you who've been around for any length of time are aware that I choose to bring my art into my channel. I find budgeting to be very discouraging and very negative. I work very hard. I work a lot of hours, and I want to be able to have some money to play with, and I don't have that money to play with right now, and that's discouraging for me. I have these things I want to do, and I can't yet, and the budget doesn't have any room in it yet to play with. It's hard to keep going week after week, month after month, what's likely going to be year after year, and just keep grinding away. So I need some positive, I need some encouragement, I need some joy, and I get that by bringing my art and carrying that with me into this channel. So I have decided to always have, I say always, in the last 5 months, this is my plan, to have an art project in the background that I'm working on that I tie into these videos with. And so that's what we're going to go over now. Up to this point, I have picked one project per month. This month, I'm actually picked three things that I think are going to happen very, very quickly. I touched on briefly on all 3 of those in my month setup. So today I'm only going to be talking about the one I'm currently going to be working on, the very first focus, and that is this heart project. Now I'm filming today's video immediately after filming my monthly setup. So it's been 10 minutes. Nothing has changed from then to now, but we're going to talk a little bit more about what this project is and how it came to be and why it's been sitting so long, because there isn't any change to show physically what has happened. This project, initially, I had taken a class to learn how to use this twister tool, and I had taken and done a wall hanging that was a snowman with his scarf blowing in the breeze and some little snowflakes around. It was a lot of fun, that project, and it came together very, very quickly, and the color play was amazing on it. I really thoroughly, absolutely enjoyed that project. If you know anything about me, if you have ever worked in any sewing circles with me, you know I have a way of overcomplicating every single thing I try. If it's easy, I will find a way to make it overcomplicated. I am drawn to the difficult things. But when I did this twister tool with that original snowman, it looked complicated, which is why I was drawn to it to take the class. But it was so simple and so easy, and it came together so fast, and I wasn't ready to be done with it. And so immediately I went out and bought another project using the tool to take that class. They had at that time several different little like project of the month with these twister tools that were very small, and they could be wall hangings, they could hang on a little hanger and be some sort of silly tchotchke decoration. I'm not the kind of person who decorates with these little seasonal things. I don't have seasonal dioramas set up on my counters. But I did like this heart-shaped one. At the time I took those classes, was living in an apartment that had a cute little fireplace, and I had envisioned hanging off of the mantle on that fireplace a couple of different heart-shaped things as a like swag hanging off of that mantelpiece, and I really thought that would be cute there. And so I wanted to do not several of the same thing, but several different types of things, and just bring a lot of kind of just bring some personality to that space. Well, if you know nothing else about me, know this: I move a lot, and I am very definitely not in that same place anymore. I don't have that same mantelpiece, and I knew at that time that I wasn't likely to be staying there, and I struggled a teeny tiny bit with making a project for something that was then going to be useless. If I didn't have a mantle to hang that swag off of, where am I going to be hanging a heart-shaped mantle swag? And I don't know why the heart shape made me think of that mantle. But there's something about home and hearth, the play of heart versus hearth. I don't know, but that was the original intention. Also, as a side thing going on in the background, again, because I move a lot, I have been in my head considering some sort of mobile living situation. A bus build, a box truck build, an RV, and in all of those iterations that have been playing around in my head, basically it's a build out. The RVs are made so poorly, I just don't even want to consider that. But in all of those iterations, what I wanted was a wood burning fireplace, specifically the Kimberly stove from the Everlasting Fire Company, who is based out of Oregon or Washington, somewhere on the West Coast, Northwest. And that particular fireplace is a very small circular fireplace that does very well in small mobile environments. It has a stovepipe that is double walled, so there's no heat on that. So this mantle swag from that one apartment then became a series of like handkerchief, scarf type things that would be in front of that stovepipe. This never got beyond that. This never ever got, I don't have a second, a third, or a fourth heart to go with this. I don't have the Kimberly fireplace. I don't have a mantle swag. So this just sat and sat and sat and never got worked on. And that's why it's been in the project box as long as it has. It needs to be finished, you guys. Even if I never do anything with it, it needs to be finished. You know, as I'm sitting here talking to you, I'm thinking, this is the perfect size for me to add some Insulbright and turn this into a pot holder. I don't think that's the route I'm going to go. In any case, that is why this has been sitting as long as it is. That is how it came into being. I enjoyed the twister tool, and this heart-shaped drew me down that little winding rabbit hole. In any case, moving along. I do have this fabric here that I may use as the backing for that. This is the fabric that initially I was looking for when I was doing those blue jean pot holders 2 months ago. I could not find it then. I do have this small piece of it here that would be perfect for the backing here. I of course have a significantly larger piece still. And I considered using this because I love this fabric, and it was in the same package as that. So I must have been thinking about this all along. I do have the batting all ready to go. And then these are some of the scraps that were used in this project. I keep all of my scraps together until the project is complete. And for me, this is not complete. This is simply a top. The top is complete, but I'm going to need something for binding. I'm going to need something for backing. So this isn't complete until it's a complete item. If I did more of those hearts to do that mantle swag or to do the thing in front of the stovepipe, I would want to be using the same colors so that they all tied together. Maybe adding other colors in and taking away, but I would want some cohesion. So these all stay together in their bag until this project is complete. Those other hearts are never going to happen. I don't have any idea what they're going to, when that's going to come. And it's fine. These will still stay with that, but this piece of fabric is also perfectly sized to be the backing on this. There's another layer here. So that might be the background. These two fabrics here are exactly the same print. They're exactly the same material. They were purchased. My ex-mother-in-law bought me this fabric in every single colorway they made as a Christmas gift one year. So I have this fabric in blues and greens and yellows and oranges and these pinks. While I appreciate the sentiment and I'm so grateful that she got me something that she knew I cared so much about, I actually don't like this fabric very much. It's a very thick fabric, and so it won't be featured in a lot. In fact, on this here, you see it has a very small use even in that. And so these also, if I have a fabric I don't like the look of, this is fantastic for, or if I don't like the quality of it, it's perfect for backing. It's perfect for lining in a bag. It's perfect for a lot of other areas that aren't to highlight a fabric I love so much. So while I did have this fabulous fabric that I'd love to find a million reasons to use, I'm thinking on the back of something is not really its best use. So, and also it's not anywhere else on the project, so why would I force it to be in there? So that's probably not going to get used as much as I love it. I will probably end up using this darker color as the background. But that is what we have. When I complete this project, which hopefully will just be in a couple of sessions, then all of these pieces that are left over can move to my scrap bin. And then these larger pieces, obviously I'm not cutting this up into 2.5, 3.5 inch squares. This will just be stored in with the rest of my stash of fabrics. And then this can stop living in a plastic bag in a storage bin waiting for me to get to it. It now just gets to be a random complete object that gets tossed from side to side because I'm not using it for the thing I wanted it to be. But that is the first project we're looking at, and that is how it came to be. So let's see how far can I get in the next day or two. That is, what is my next video that would be coming out would be my week 3 check-in. So let's see how far I can get on this by week 3. Or that's not week 3, silly girl. That's going to be week number 1 check-in. I'm just starting the month of October. So if we get into my next, my flexible spending check-in, maybe I can have this one done and we can see what this looks like as a completed project. Isn't this fabric beautiful? I love this fabric and I want to use it in all of the things. For those of you who are, who do work with fabric arts or maybe fiber arts, maybe for those of you who don't, we have a tendency to go pick fabrics that we love and then they become too precious to use, and all we do is pull them out periodically and just pet them. We can't use it. Like I can't possibly use it on the back of this. It's too precious to be a backing. Isn't that the silliest thing? But I love this fabric and I have it. I have a lot of it. And I do have it being used in other places. But that is what my first project for the month of October looks like. That's why it came to be. That's what I'm hoping to work on. Maybe at some point I will be living in a mobile device with my Kimberly stove from Everlasting Fire, and that can then somehow be in front of the stovepipe. The stovepipe, I think that's kind of unattractive to have a stovepipe just hanging out in the middle of nowhere. So I like the idea of having the fabric kind of be in front of that stovepipe. And it's a double-walled stovepipe, so they tell you it's cool to the touch, so it wouldn't be a fire risk to have fabric up against that stovepipe. It would be a fire risk if it was too close to the actual stove, but in any case, those are the random thoughts in my head. I have talked for far too long. I will see you guys in a couple of days as we go into my flexible spending week 1 and see what that gets us. Wherever you are today, whatever you're doing today, please have fun. Bye-bye now.